welcome back to another session of the Hopry. My name is Mark Starr, and tonight I'm going to review another Dogfish Head beer. Now, it's been quite a while since I've reviewed Dogfish Head for the Hopry. In fact, I think I've only done it once before, and it was the Palo Santo Marron, which I believe was within the first 3 or 4 sessions that we did. So, I think everybody's very familiar with Dogfish Head and what they do and kind of what their style is. Well, this is a beer that I actually have been, I've had this one sitting kind of in the refrigerator for a long time. I'll just put it that way. And every time I'm kind of going through and looking at what I want to review next, this one always kind of seems to get pushed to the back. So tonight, I'm going to bring it out and get it behind me and hope that it's a really enjoyable beer. So about last year, this time of year, I was up in Chicago, and we went to the, what's it called, the, not the Map Room, but the Hop Leaf up in northern Chicago. And I actually had the Raison Dextra, which is similar to this. This one's actually called the Raison Dextra. And it's more of a, I guess, a larger version of the Raison Dextra. So I'm actually kind of afraid of this one, to be honest with you. Along with all of their the Dogfish Head beers, not all of them, but most of them are really high in alcohol. This one is right around 18 to 19%. So, woo, man, I'm ready for it though. I'm ready for it. Let's just hope it goes easy on me. Maybe I'll have to share a little bit with the wife upstairs. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and open this one. I'll tell you that this beer, actually, you know what? I'm not going to use this one. They've got the really nice Dogfish Head cap on there, so I'm actually going to take a minute. I've already showed you the ring trick. Didn't quite get it on that one. There we go. But I definitely like saving these, obviously put the magnet on there and give them away to friends and whatnot. But anyway, getting back to what I was going to say is that, this is a beer that they brew with a lot of raisins and a lot of brown sugar and lots of malts. And of course, you probably need a lot of malt in there to get this thing up to the 18-19% that it's at. But I can't smell it yet, which is kind of interesting, but I'm going to go ahead and pour it so that I can smell it. I'm not expecting a whole lot of head off of here, which, hey, you know what? That's a lot more head than I expected from an 18% alcohol by volume beer. Let me go ahead and set this bottle up here so you can take a gander. So first of all, wow, I mean, man, I don't know. I'm going to hold that up there and hope that you can see the color on it. It is extremely beautiful. That's a nice, it's a perfectly warm amber, ruby, not amber, but ruby red. I mean, it's as ruby red as you're going to get from a beer. What's really surprising me as well is that there is this huge amount of effervescence just screaming its way to the top of the glass. Now, it's not throughout the entire beer, but it's just right here in the center. You can just, maybe you can, maybe you can't see it just screaming up to the top there. So that's pretty interesting to me. The head on it is a little bit soapy, meaning that, the bubbles are a little bit bigger and they seem to dwindle away a little bit faster than they would if they were, tighter and more tight-knit like you would get from, say, an Imperial Stout. But let me go ahead and smell this one. I'll just say this, it definitely smells like a Dogfish Head beer. I've had their Fort, which smelled a lot like this, though you could kind of replace the raisin and the fig component out with raspberries. But aside from that, it really smells very similar to that. I do get a lot of the brown sugar, which is really nice. Not too long ago, I reviewed the Lagunitas brown sugar. And this one kind of smells a lot like that one, though. I've always said that Dogfish Head beers that are, like the more extreme Dogfish Head beers, I should say, almost have kind of like a model glue smell. And this one it's not quite there, but you can see just after speaking for about 20 seconds that the head on that one is pretty much gone. But Definitely pulling a lot of brown sugar. I think the brown sugar is even more noticeable than the raisins that they put in this, and it actually says on the side of the bottle that it's brewed with boatloads of big old raisins. So anyway, so I've got the smell down. Let's go ahead and taste it, because I'm pretty curious. So right off the bat, I mean, it's got a lot of alcohol, you know, obviously at 18, 19%. As I take a drink and I open my mouth afterwards, I can feel the vapors from the alcohol. So, you know, this is a beer that I think probably could sit for, gosh, 10 years. I mean, it's big. I do get a lot of brown sugar on the mouth as well. For being as big as it is, though, it's got a really nice mouthfeel. Again, I would say that the alcohol is just a little bit much for me. You know, I get what they're doing. I wish I had somebody actually over here to share this one with me, because I don't know if I'm going to make it through the entire bottle tonight. In fact, I may try to find one of my old corks here as soon as we're done and, you know, put it in the top and maybe drink some more of it tomorrow night. But let me go ahead and take another sip. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's really in line with a lot of their other bigger beers. You know, I say the Fort because that's one of the ones I've had the most. That one comes in a 750 milliliter bottle, and it requires like 19 people to come and drink that one with you. But, I mean, in terms of a beer that you want to just kind of sit back and sip on slowly, I think this one's fairly nice. Now, you know, normally I talk about how long these beers have been sitting out. The fact that this one's as high as it is, I've literally had this beer sitting out for about a half an hour to 40 minutes. And even as I taste it, it's almost at room temperature. But I think at that point, you really get those flavors coming out more than I would have, say, if I had drank it, you know, 5-10 minutes, or even just immediately after pulling it out of the refrigerator. I'm not sure if any of you guys are wine fans or not, but this really kind of reminds me of a Sauterne. A Sauterne is a dessert wine, and it's, you know, usually really syrupy. That's kind of what this one is like to me. It's very big, very syrupy, though not extremely sweet, which is nice. I think the bitterness really kind of helps cut through that sweetness, but definitely one that you're going to want to take your time with. If you find this, invite a few friends over, you know, maybe sit around a table, talk about the beer. I'd be curious to see what kind of food this goes with, because it is more like a wine to me. Like I said, it's a lot bigger than just your average beer. But really like the nose. I'd say I like the nose better than I like the taste. You know, so in terms of rating this one, you know, it's a bit extreme for me, so I'm going to probably have to go on the, you know, the middle to high 80s. I'd say this is probably 86, 87. Not, you know, not a bad effort. I will tell you, and I'll admit right up front, I don't get some of these bigger beers, but anyway. Well, my name is Mark Starr. Thanks for coming back, and just want to remind you to fridge the hops. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.